Hello, everybody. This is Rick with Transformation Michigan. As many of you know, I've hosted many speakers as we traveled across the state, and one of them is the privilege to have traveled with Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin. He's now the VP of Family Research Council. He's a pastor. He's a committed believer in Jesus Christ. But he inspired me last summer. I've hosted him a number of years coming into our state at different locations. But last summer, we had him at the state capitol in Grand Rapids and Dearborn. And what took place was that we were expressing through his presentations all the difficulties we're facing as a state nation. Yes, we have a threat of Islam. We have attack on our marriage. You know, the pro-life issue is still at first and foremost that we have to address as shedding of blood on our land. There's an attack on our parental rights, religious freedoms, our U.S. Constitution. I can go on and on. But people were coming up to me and saying, Rick, we know what the problems are. What can we do? Here I live in a small community, and what can I do as an individual? And what I was thought, it came to my mind, that let's put together a publication where we can glean the experience from state and national leaders and have them give us solutions on what we can do. Where can we actually activate ourselves and go into our culture? Well, there's 7 areas. There's the family, the church, the education, the business realm. We have media communications, arts and entertainment, and we, of course, we have the governmental mountain. All of you have been called to a particular area. Barna research showed that only 10 to 15% of people know and understand their purpose in Christ. That's a travesty. That means that's like having part of your body working and the rest of it not. So what we want to do is come out with a booklet that gives people solutions for hope and change. One cry for transforming our state, a great awakening. But the basis of the book is this: prayer is only what brings divine intervention. When we study the great awakenings in history, and there's been numerous great awakenings, parts of the world, and we discussed a few of them in this booklet, there are always these common denominators which brought God's intervention into human affairs. For what we're facing now, there's no human remedy. So we must start with prayer. The next thing is, what is a biblical worldview? We put a chapter in here on biblical worldview from Del Tackett. And research has shown that Christians who claim to be Christians, only 4% of them have a biblical worldview. That is not good. So let's define what that is. We've enclosed a chapter from James Moffat from Citizens for Traditional Values. And he is an expert on our Christian foundations of our history. We need to know our history. The Mayflower Compact, what the writers of the Constitution, what they believed in. James covered it well in a chapter here. Brad Snavely, the president of Michigan Family Forum, did a chapter for us on how we can take the family, engage it. People, simple people like you and I, what can we do in that cultural gateway? We have Professor William Wagner. He is a constitutional lawyer. He provided a chapter for us on how we can defend the U.S. Constitution and how we need to learn it and get a better grasp on that important document. General Boykin did a chapter in here, and he used a strategy that the Delta Force used in taking areas and regions, and we applied it to the spiritual. I'll tell you, it was a tremendous chapter that he wrote for us. So we have a very well-rounded booklet that can cover. I don't care if you're a Baptist, you're a Pentecostal, Church of God, Church of Christ, a Lutheran, a Catholic, it doesn't make a difference. We put together a work that can cover everybody. And the key is how do we get this out? It's people like yourself. We initially printed up 15,000 copies. 10,000 have gone out now. How have we done this? It's by the grassroots taking this. This is free. That's a good word. It's free. I'm giving this to you so we can activate the culture and take it back with a biblical worldview paradigm. So how do I get this publication? Well, you need to contact Transformation Michigan, myself personally. And at the bottom of the video clip here, you will see contact information. You need to contact me, and I'll get them into your hands. I just got a lady this morning who contacted me by way of Facebook. She messaged me. She's from Midland, Michigan, and she wants to take numerous copies out to tea parties and out to some Christian churches that she's involved in. And this is how we get it out. We're dispensing them through conferences. And I'm willing to give, if pastor, any pastor watching this, if you go through this content and you say, this is safe for my people in my church, I ask you to contact me and I will give one for every family. I plan to print up another 25,000 this coming June. But we have to activate the grassroots if we're going to take back our culture. So I'm making the appeal to you. So solutions, we have them. We have problems out there. Let's activate our people so we can provide a future for our children and grandchildren. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening to me.